Okay, Aries, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries. It is for Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign. Always check out your sun, moon, and rising sign because you'd just be amazed at how much you relate to that energy. For those of you who are looking for deeper and continued messages, I always provide an extended message, and I hope that you can join me for it. That link is right in the description box right below this video. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please, Aries, subscribe to the channel and then ring that bell and select all notifications so you know when I upload your favorite content. And I know that the content will come to you when it is supposed to. I do these videos weekly, yes, but they are not time-stamped for that week. The message will come to you when it is supposed to, but there will be a new message every single week, so be sure to subscribe so you can get it. I have more content if you're looking for more astrology and spiritual content on my second YouTube channel called Astrology Motivation. I'll attach the link above. I hope you'll join me over there as well and subscribe. And if you want to chat with me live during my daily tarot card readings, then find me on Instagram. You can find me at born_without_boundaries. You ready? Let's go. Aries. We want to be alone. You want to be alone. We got the Hermit card. Now, this doesn't mean that you're not in love. This doesn't mean that you're breaking up with it. No, it just means you want to be alone. Some quiet time is required, even if you don't want it. Some quiet time is required. The Hermit energy speaks to a soul searching, almost like an internal pilgrimage, a pilgrimage within. It can also speak to Virgo energy. Maybe some of you are dealing with a Virgo. But just as it's sitting here all by its little lonesome. Oh, you have, interestingly enough, the Devil, which is Capricorn energy. Now we have Virgo and Capricorn energy, and I'm going to lose my shit if the next card is the Hierophant. But we now have two major arcana here. And these speak to, of course, the Devil speaks to fear. It speaks to control. It speaks to being trapped or enslaved by your own behaviors. So what these two cards tell me is the inquiry that you've been looking into is why you are the way you are, why things aren't working. Maybe you're trying to get healthier, you're trying to get better, you're trying to get a grip on or a handle on or understand those darker aspects of yourself. And it makes sense because Mars is in Scorpio, baby. So it makes sense that you're sort of going deep and you're going there. Maybe to places that you don't often stop to take a little bit of time in. But you're going deeper. This could also speak to obsession. We have the Nine of Wands, which means you're being very defensive about something. I think that you know something is up. You're fully aware of it, but you're keeping it to yourself. The Nine of Wands suggests that you are being defensive about it. So you may know that something's up. You may know that there is trouble a-brewing. You may know that it's almost like you're conscious of it or you're exploring it, but in some ways you're being defensive, or somebody you're dealing with is being defensive of something that they're struggling with right now, struggling to get control over. At this point, it feels like it's controlling them. Then we have the Knight of Chalices, so this could have to do something with love, an offer of love, or just an overt demonstration of love. You may be experiencing somebody who's obsessed with you, trying to block somebody who just seems to be like overly invested. And then we have the King of Chalices. This is Scorpionic energy here, which is, maybe you might be dealing with a Scorpio. Keeping your emotions tight to your chest, and then Strength is here. So wow, there is definitely something being withheld, maybe desires being withheld, keeping something in. And it could be this desire that you've decided is bad or wicked or evil, or you want to control it before it controls you. But there's definitely some offer or overt demonstration of desire here. But it's got to be somebody from the outside doing this to you. The King of Chalices is here. Oh my God. It's like somebody's offering and the other person's closed down, or being really closed down to any offers of love right now, simply because you're trying to get your own shit together. And this is where we start, Aries. So where are we going? Where are we going? Ooh. Where are we going, Aries? Where are we going, Aries? Aries, the messages that Aries need to hear. I honestly think you're trying to like restrain yourself. Like, no, that's definitely a kerfuffle, not a shuffle. The waiting game. Ooh, who is playing this with you? This was from a while back, though, because this is something you've been waiting on. You've been very patient with something or someone. Maybe putting a lot of energy and effort in somebody that you just can't give up on. Maybe acknowledging that something is definitely maybe an addiction for you, but you might like it like that. The waiting game. You could also be waiting on love. Deciding to take a step back because you don't want to be controlled. Hold on. All right. Hold on. We have solitude. Yeah, not being alone, but being stuck, not being alone. A sense of either, or you're not choosing to be alone. It's almost like you feel like you're stuck in solitude instead of deciding to be, which makes sense, right? Because the devil is here. That could be stuck all by yourself because you're defensive of something, or because nine of wands is just not ready to open up yet. Third eye chakra is almost like you've shut down. You're closing your mind. You don't want to see something, or somebody doesn't want to see something. What? Temptation. It's almost like you can feel this pull of the devil, but you are trying very hard to look away from the temptation, but the temptation is there. Now, the only way to really grapple with this temptation is to acknowledge it and say, this is a part of me. This is an aspect of who I am. And this is when you can actually get a hold of and make it stop distracting you. But there's somebody here that's like turning their eyes away to what they know is better, or they're trying to restrain themselves. They're trying to hold themselves back, but they're feeling like they want something, they desire something. It's taking all their strength to resist temptation, but I'm not sure that that's going to be something that they can do. Can you tell me a little bit more, God? Because I don't want to know. Who is this? It's almost like, oh, you know what I'm hearing in my head? That line from Hamilton, I don't know how to say no to this. God help me, I don't know how to say no to this. That's kind of the vibe I'm picking up off of these cards. And it's like, I don't know how to say no to this. What's up? Thinker. You're an overthinker. Thinking about this too much. Chaos and conflicts. You realize how much shit this is going to cause. You know it. And part of you wants it. Part of you is inviting it in. But you're like, oh God, I can't do this. I can't do this. Oh, this aching, throbbing temptation. I can't do this. What is up? What is up? Maybe this is just a part of who you are. You ever think of that? You ever think of maybe you don't belong in a monogamous relationship, or maybe somebody that you're dealing with doesn't belong in a monogamous relationship? Why are you trying to make somebody or yourself into something that they're not? Questioning, why am I always miserable, or why am I always stuck? Because you're always making the wrong choice. How about this? invite the chaos in and accept that that's who you are. Unless, of course, this person is trying to resist really something like an actual addiction and they're struggling, in which case this is a sense of try to be as supportive as possible by either staying away and giving them their space, or keeping away any kind of trigger that you know of or that you can from them, something like that. Aries. Spring. See your seeds grow. There is hope. There is luck. There is change. What is coming in the spring? Because this is coming out a little bit in the future. Let's see. Autumn. We have spring and autumn. Autumn, release the old and rest. And hunter, track down and face your fears and desires. Oh, that just gave me the shivers. This is your time. This is autumn now. Between now and spring, there's going to be a huge confrontation of the truth and reality of this addiction, this struggle, this thing that somebody in your life or you is trying to avoid, but they can't. Your thoughts may be chaos, may be chaotic. This impulse or temptation could be trying to get away from those chaotic thoughts or whatever's causing those chaotic thoughts. But you never escape something by trying to outrun it. You escape it by confronting it and grounding it so it doesn't chase you anymore. So this is definitely a sense of having to figure out all this stuff, dealing with a great deal of chaos in your life right now. Okay, we have being covetous, wanting or desiring something. And once again, this is it. Track down your fears and desires. What is it that you're lusting for, that you're desiring, or that whoever you're dealing with is? What is this energy? I would like to know that, but ultimately it could be different for so many of you. Say 1,000 people watch this video. It may be different for each and every one of you, right? Can we get any clues or hints? Because this, I have to say, is more like an obsession. With all these other cards on the table, this is more like an obsession, and you've been stuck with this or struggling. Somebody's been struggling with this for a long time because it goes way back. Why is this coming out now? Seasons of the heart. This is a difficult change. Also, you're talking about the changing of the seasons. There's something representative in the changing of the seasons here. Somebody's struggling against the changing of the seasons. It's natural for the seasons to change, but ultimately this change wasn't welcome. So maybe it's a relapse of some sort. We also have a new beginning, which is freedom from the old, right? Allowing yourself to change, allowing yourself to realize there are other options out here for me. I feel stuck now. I feel like this is going to end me, but it's not. And honestly, you have very hopeful cards coming into the future. The key, the secret here is letting go or starting all over again. Ooh, a new start is coming once again. Adjustments are required and a new start is coming. What beautiful energy to encourage you to know that yes, you have to deal with this, or somebody has to deal with this, or you may be the one on the outside, right? Having to help them or encourage them or figure out what can I do, whatever. Adjustments are required. A new start is coming. Aries, whatever aspect of your life this is a sense of yes. In order to have this new start, you are going to have to make changes. You cannot keep things as they are now. I don't care whether this pertains to your relationship or your job. It can't stay as it is now. Because as it is now, it's exacerbating, hurting, harming, or helping, hurting, harming you, and helping this stuck. Right? So what you have to do is make changes. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to up and leave, or that you can't continue with this relationship or whatever it is. But it does mean that you have to confront this thing that's bothering you, right? And it has to be realized. You can't talk around it or deny it anymore or hold it inside. And that's part of the problem. Somebody's been holding this inside. And this has to come out. And once it comes out and it's on the table and the demon's loose, guess what? Now you can see it and now you can know what to do with it. But that's what has to happen first. And then you have to own it. As nasty and gross as it is, you have to own that this aspect of you, this horrifying aspect, is part of your reality, even if it's just because it's part of somebody else's reality. Right? And then what happens? You can start asking, well, what do we do to make a better life? I'm not denying that this is the truth, right? But what do we do with this? You don't have to live in it. You don't have to accept it as in, accept that's the only way. It's not the only way. There are always choices, but ultimately you have to accept where you begin. Now, adjustments are required. Y'all guys got to start over. Or start totally fresh, totally new. This could also be a new start for you. Happy birthday, Doug Denny. A sense of, I'm starting all over. And what this is going to do is give me freedom from any kind of restraints or restrictions or misconceptions, shit from my past. It's almost like you need a complete restart. Aries. Something's coming here in the spring. But understand something. You can change where you live. You can change your environment. If you don't change those behaviors, that person's never going to actually change. Because you take you and you take your mind wherever you go. So it's ultimately you having to make a decision to change parts of you. Or at least change the choices that you make. Two cards came out. I am authentic. This is getting to your true self, your truth. And then I feel transformed. That's beautiful. This is a gorgeous new beginning. It's like somebody is kicking something. Like kicking a habit or kicking the past. Like being able to really get past whatever they were stereotyped as. What do I want to do? Yeah, really like, this is beautiful. All of this energy is really hopeful. A new start, a new beginning. Being able to like do it right this time, quote unquote. That's not me passing judgment. That's just me saying it's like, what you want, what did you really want out of this situation? Like doing that instead of, it's overcoming bullshit. You know, like say for example, this is just an example. This isn't what I see in the cards. This is an example of the energy that I'm reading in the cards. You were somebody who was married. And no matter what you fucking did, you just couldn't stop from cheating on that person. And you had children with your wife or husband or whoever the fuck they were. You had children with these people, this person. And it started to affect by you trying to avoid looking at yourself and admitting the hurt and pain in your spouse's eyes because you kept cheating or they kept cheating, whatever. They would start avoiding you, which led to them avoiding the children. And that caused a mess. And it just caused a ripple effect. So this is like owning, I can't do this anymore. I got to get my behavior under control. And this is that hopeful saying, that hopefulness of you can get your behavior under control and there's a new life here. Now, somebody may have already started a new life and now they're facing their demons again. They're relapsing. And that's just a sense of just face the demons again. Be honest with yourself. And so when you try to run from something, it has power over you. It's controlling your next move. But if you don't run and you confront, then you can take power over it. We have apotholate here. Increased support is coming your way. That's beautiful. Your positive focus and willingness to receive have opened the doorway to an abundance of help and opportunities. So help is coming to you when you need it. And then heightened intuition. Be extra aware of your inner knowingness as it's trustworthy. So trust that intuition. And then we have Aquamarine. This is coming up in the future. Divine life purpose. Trust the signs and your inner guidance, which are leading you to fulfillment. Okay? In other words, real happiness. This happiness that was denied to you by this behavior that somebody couldn't get under control. Right? Then we have clear quartz. Let yourself feel all your emotions. Go ahead. Don't be ashamed of any of it. Your entire rainbow spectrum of feelings is sending you important messages and guidance. Well, let's see what those important messages are and how we deal with all this. I'm going to go to the extended. I hope that you can join me. Please be sure to like this video and share it on your social media platforms. Either way, guys, I'll see you soon.